Hello, my name is Amari Bedford, and I'm a principal of speech and communication student. I'm a finance major originally from Dallas, Texas, with a passion for financial markets and analysis. My career goal is to become a financial analyst in a Fortune 500 company or maybe an investment bank. In 10 years, I see myself in a leadership role within the finance industry, trying to leverage my analytical skills and global perspective to drive more impactful decisions. I believe my strengths include being articulate and confident when presenting data-driven ideas. While I recognize that I can improve my adaptability when communicating with diverse audiences, these communication skills and my approach to interaction have been influenced by my upbringing in a multicultural family. Because my mom was a different race to my dad, it was always different. Not just different race, but a whole different culture that came together. Um, my values became both open to like both of their dialogues. I will discuss my cultural background, how it's shaped my communication style, and the role of nonverbal communication in my culture and personal experiences. Um, I'll also get into the influence of culture on mass communication and its importance to my career goals and things of that nature. I'm sorry, I'm a little too high for the camera. Okay. My culture is best described as collectivist, placing a high value on like group harmony and respect and building consensus until all come to the one decision. Because I feel like a group being strung together, that really can make or break anything. Uh, I really have a collective upbringing, and that influences how I see a lot of things in the world. It makes me focus on teamwork and collaboration and communication while striving to maintain respectful, balanced exchanges. This shapes how I present myself as a future financial professional. Um, yeah, future financial professional. I'm going to be someone who values team input and creates a space for everybody's voice, not just the main people, but even the people who don't see themselves as the main people yet. My communication skills are rooted in culture of listening and mutual respect. So that was like my culture bringing up. So we had some listening, and we all had to have respect for each other, regardless of the situation. And that to support my career goals in finance, which require mostly clear presentations and relationship building with all my clients. And actually, most importantly, I'm sorry. Most importantly, that will involve like adaptability. Yeah, adaptability for sure. Because it's going to be diverse work environments, and for sure people that might not see me for who I am off just looking at me. Um, Now that I've shared my cultural background has shaped my communication skills, let me discuss how my nonverbal communication nonverbal communication always plays a way bigger role because nonverbal communication is like they say it's like 80%. It's everything. It's how they come to you, how they present yourself. So that's really the main thing because if I don't come to you in a welcoming way non-verbally, you won't really take in truly what I'm saying verbally. So nonverbal communication, yeah, in my culture, nonverbal communication such as maintaining eye contact to show confidence, using open gestures to convey like what I'm saying, and respecting my personal space are keys to effective interaction. Um, when I communicate with individuals from different cultures, I recognize nonverbal forms vary greatly for sure. Because, for example, in Western finance environments, directness is valued, whereas in Asian cultures, they like to be subtle, and that's more preferred for them. So it really depends on who you're talking to and where you're at. So back to my household, growing up in the multicultural household taught me to read nonverbal cues because you will see more nonverbal cues than you think of when you just actually pay attention for them. Because it makes you be mindful to their unspoken messages and what they're trying to say without saying it. These skills help me to navigate all the professional environments and build strong relationships. Like I said earlier, it's all going to tie back together. And now, like for example, the things that I'm doing with my hands, that's nonverbal, and I feel like that's helping me get my point across. It's also helping me speak clear. You might not know, but yeah. And moving on from the nonverbal communication, I want to discuss how culture influences like the mass communication, and why this matters in my career. So, culture has a significant influence on how mass communication and the messages are crafted, delivered, and also understood. For example, Western business news often highlights like individual achievements, while other coaches emphasize the collective and everybody's input. But the advantages of mass communication include like they can reach way more broader audiences quickly, and they can share financial news in real time, which is key in my field because that's what I am in finance. However, the disadvantage is the messages can be misinterpreted very fast, and if cultural contexts are like ignored, it will be misconstrued. In my own experiences, I rely on financial news platforms and market analysis reports to stay informed, but that's just to stay informed in the financial world because there's a lot of things that they won't tell you, and you have to dig way deeper. Um, the understanding that I have of how to interpret these messages through my cultural lens allows me to extract most relevant information and tailor it to my future audience in the financial sector. Yeah. So throughout this speech, I introduced myself and discussed how my culture has shaped my communication style, the role of nonverbal communication in my interactions, and the impact of culture on the mass communication. My career goals in finance will be supported by my cultural background for sure, and my communication experiences because I've had to communicate with different sides of my family, which are all different races because they came together and made me. I might not look like it, but I'm very biracial, and it's given me a foundation for navigating complex things in very multicultural environments. And I feel like that's key in business and finance. Uh, so, in conclusion, my understanding of how my culture shapes communication, but not my culture, but culture period, shapes communication both interpersonally and in mass media is going to help me be a more effective mind, like with the global and financial profession in that profession. Have a great day.